Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the Arenu Ibar channel. I am absolutely thrilled to have you with us today for a highly focused and honestly an absolutely crucial presentation. Today, we're zooming in on the political future of Kogi Central. More specifically, we're taking a close look at the deep political divide between Senator Natasha Akpati Udagan and former Governor Bello. Now, let me be super clear right up front. We are not here to point fingers, and we are absolutely not here to take sides. Instead, we're going to look at the facts, understand the real toll this rivalry is taking on our communities, and most importantly, map out a clear, actionable solution for the future of Ibira land. Real quick, before we jump into the details, please take just a second to look down and hit that large subscribe button. Supporting the Arenu Ibira channel is what ensures we can keep bringing you high-quality, professional, and entirely unbiased analysis on the issues that actually matter to our community. Your subscription literally makes all the difference, so thank you for that. Okay, let's dive right into our agenda for today. We're going to quickly cover the history of the Natasha and Bello divide and the toll it's taken on arable land. Then, we are going to spend the vast majority of our time today on actionable, community-driven solutions. Creating a peace initiative, establishing a central development charter, changing our political culture, and ensuring that arable land always comes first. All right, starting with Part 1, the Natasha and Bello divide, a history of escalation. So, look, this conflict didn't just appear out of nowhere, right? It's really an escalation that took shape around the 2023 Senate election. That election totally altered the political balance in the region. Then, things really heated up with a failed recall crisis in 2025, which, as you'd expect, only intensified the hostility. By 2026, the whole thing moved into the courts, resulting in a civil defamation suit yielding a 1 billion naira judgment, which, by the way, is currently pending appeal. And now we're looking ahead to 2027, anticipating a very high-stakes Senate rematch. The absolutely crucial takeaway here is that we have to remember court judgments on specific statements are just that, rulings on specific cases. They don't validate or invalidate every single political claim ever made by either side. We've got to separate the legal battles from the political ones. Fast forward to today, and we face a completely unique dynamic. On one side, you have Senator Natasha Akpoti Udagan, who holds an independent Democratic mandate in the Senate. On the exact opposite side, you have former Governor Bello, who still retains massive, considerable influence within the APC political structure. What this actually means for Kogi Central is that instead of one single political establishment, two incredibly powerful, totally distinct political camps have emerged. Moving on to Section 2, the toll on arable land, looking beyond the politicians themselves. This is where it gets incredibly real for all of us. Because the community impact is severe. Political polarization is literally dividing neighbors. People are out there fighting over personalities instead of debating actual ideas. And because of this, development completely takes a backseat to the rivalry. Think about it. Every ounce of energy consumed by this political fighting is energy stolen right away from our roads, our schools, and our hospitals. We're seeing youths being used as political weapons. Traditional institutions are becoming politicized and losing their neutrality. And ultimately, Environland's national image suffers. Outsiders start associating our region with instability rather than the incredible human and economic potential we actually have. All right, Section 3, creating a peace initiative, laying out the steps to reconciliation. So how do we actually fix this? How do we effectively de-escalate the political temperature in the region? Well, the first solution is establishing an Iberland Political Reconciliation Council. Step 1, form a council of entirely nonpartisan elders, professionals, youths, and women leaders. Step 2, invite representatives from literally all political camps. Natasha's camp, Bello's camp, the APC, the PDP, everybody. Step 3, mediate. The sole purpose of this council is absolutely not to pick election winners. Their only job is keeping the peace. Their message to the politicians has to be crystal clear. Contest the elections, for sure, but do not destroy the community. Building right off of that, we desperately need a political code of conduct. The steps here are a game changer. First, keep personal and legal disputes where they belong, in the courts, not out on the streets. Second, we must demand hard evidence before public allegations are made. Criminal allegations require a proper judicial process, not just a viral mobilization on social media. Third, leaders have to publicly instruct their supporters to avoid threats, ethnic insults, and violence. The mantra should be, support me, but do not hate my opponent. And finally, every single political actor should voluntarily sign this community political code of conduct. Which brings us to Section 4, the Central Development Charter, a 10-year vision. Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is that it represents arguably the most powerful solution we have. This is the Kogi Central Development Charter. Instead of fighting over who insulted who, future elections absolutely must be a competition over these specific measurable objectives for the next 10 years. Look at education. Who actually has the best plan for digital literacy and scholarships? In healthcare, who is realistically upgrading primary centers? Infrastructure, who is actually delivering roads and fast internet connectivity? Employment, who is building the tech hubs and driving industrial development? Every single candidate in 2027 should be forced by public pressure to publish their specific plans and their funding strategies for these exact sectors. Then, and only then, can we as voters judge based on performance, not politics. That is what true democracy looks like.
Section 5, Changing the Political Culture, Focusing on Individual Responsibilities.
Let's be completely fair here and look directly at what each leader must do heading into 2027. For Natasha, she needs to shift her focus completely to measurable performance. Her strongest argument shouldn't be about attacking her opponent. It needs to be outlining her specific achievements and her future agenda for the region. On the flip side, Bello should focus heavily on his governing record. He needs to articulate what he learned during his time as governor and present a clear, forward-looking policy argument for why he wants to go to the Senate. Both of these leaders have a profound responsibility to elevate the 2027 contest. We have to move away from personal attacks and toward genuine constructive policy debates. But hey, it's not just about two people, right? Ebroland simply cannot depend indefinitely on the political rivalry of just a few individuals. It's time to empower a brand new generation of highly competent leaders across all these sectors: politics, business, academia, technology, law, medicine, agriculture, and civil society. We need hundreds of young, brilliant leaders who are capable of competing for excellence without destroying each other in the process. Finally, Section 6, Ebroland must come first, the ultimate power. Let politicians compete for power, but let the people compete for development. Wow. This right here is the defining principle we absolutely must adopt. You see, the ultimate power belongs to you, the voters. One person should be totally free to say, hey, I respect Bello, but I'm voting for Natasha. Another person should comfortably say, I respect Natasha, but I'm voting for Bello. And the beautiful thing is, after Election Day, both of those people must remain peaceful neighbors. Your political choice should literally never determine whether the person next door is your friend. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative question. Did Everland win? When all the dust finally settles on the 2027 elections, the question on our minds shouldn't be who defeated who. No, it should be, did our children get better schools? Did our local businesses actually grow? Are our communities safer? Because at the end of the day, that is how we measure true success. Thank you so much for joining me on the Renew Above channel for this incredibly important discussion. Now I have a quick task for you. I want you to head down to the comment section right now and summarize which of the solutions we discussed today you think is the absolute most important for our community moving forward. Let's get a really healthy, constructive dialogue going down there. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. Stay peaceful, stay hyper-focused on development, and I will see you next time.